ISIS tells its supporters it's time to break the cross. Turkey's President Erdogan welcomes friend Vladimir, and contrary to appearances, there is hope for Christians in Hollywood. Welcome to SkyWatchTV for Tuesday, August 9th, 2016. I'm Derek Gilbert. First, I want to clarify my report from yesterday on the illegality of the $400 million transfer of foreign currencies made by the United States to Iran back in January. After I watched it, it seemed to me that I came across as supporting leaving the 5 Iranian Americans who were set free in January in Iranian custody. And that's not the case. I'm glad that they were set free. My point is simply this. I object to the President of the United States, regardless of which political party he's from, behaving as though he is above the law. The fact is, and you can check this for yourself at the Treasury Department's website, any financial transfer from the United States or anyone in the United States to Iran or anyone in Iran is illegal. Now, either the president and his staff knew it was illegal and they did it anyway, or they didn't know it was illegal, and frankly, that may be worse. Personally, I believe it's the first one. They either had to revoke the declaration of emergency that President Obama renewed, which puts the sanctions into effect or keeps the sanctions in effect, or they had to go to Congress and have Congress amend federal law to make that $400 million payment legal. Knowing that he would never get that past Congress, the president just went ahead and ignored the law. But again, I'm glad the 5 men were set free, although we note that the Iranians have arrested 4 more since then. In other news, the United Nations apparently offering support to the Obama administration for its federal takeover of local police forces around the country. After a tour of the U.S. in January, a UN official named Mena Kai endorsed a little-known practice by the Justice Department called consent decrees. The consent decree, he said, needs to be beefed up and increased to cover as many of the 18,000 plus local law enforcement jurisdictions as possible. Now, what is a consent decree? The Civil Rights Division of the Justice Department will file a lawsuit against a city, county, or state alleging violations of constitutional or civil rights by police or by guards at a correctional facility. Rather than fighting the federal government, a local government will agree to the judicial finding without contest. This allows a federal court then to issue a series of regulations that control what that local police force can do, essentially nationalizing that police force. Consent decrees are now in place in Newark, New Jersey, Miami, Los Angeles, Chicago, Ferguson, Missouri, and other places around the country. Again, little known, but essentially making local police forces outreaches of the federal government. And while the feds are working to control local law enforcement, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms is illegally collecting a database of gun owners around the country. A report from the U.S. Government Accountability Office revealed that ATF is not destroying identifiable information from gun registrations, like names and addresses, as they are supposed to under federal law. States regulate guns, not the federal government. So the feds aren't supposed to keep this type of information, but they are. Judge Andrew Napolitano on Fox this morning talked about this, says that this violates federal law, a Supreme Court opinion, and our natural right to self-defense. Turkey and Russia patching up their relationship. Their presidents Erdogan and Putin met today in St. Petersburg. It's the first meeting for the two men since Turkey's Air Force shot down a Russian warplane last November. And of course, those of us who watch prophecy, study prophecy, pay attention to anything involving these two nations in particular as we try to figure out which one of them is the land of Magog. And of course, not to be left out of the political and prophetic speculation, French President François Hollande is traveling around Europe this week, visiting the capitals of other European Union nations as he pitches the idea of an EU army. Hollande wants the EU to make military commitments beyond its borders. Now, why does the EU need an army when NATO already has an army? One of the big debates in recent years, of course, is whether the Antichrist will emerge from a revived Roman Empire, the EU, perhaps, or Turkey. Jury's still out. The family of clock boy Ahmed Mohammed is suing school officials in Texas for violating the 14-year-old's civil rights. Lawsuit filed Monday against the Irving, Texas Independent School District, the city of Irving, and the school's principal. You may remember the story from last fall. Ahmed was suspended at his high school in suburban Dallas, charged with having a hoax bomb. Well, Ahmed, his family, and supporters, all the way up to the President of the United States, congratulated Ahmed on what they believed was a clock that he built from scratch at home, a digital clock carried inside a little briefcase. And that this suspension was just persecution because the boy and his family are Muslims. Well, researchers who examined the photos released by the Irving, Texas Police Department found that rather than constructed from scratch, what Ahmed had done was taken an old Radio Shack digital clock, vintage 1970s, took the components apart and then reassembled them inside the little briefcase to look like a hoax bomb. Well, it smells like a test case. The family, by the way, no longer living in the United States. They are now living in Qatar, where the boy has been issued, or offered, rather, a full scholarship to college. Well, another month means another issue of Dabik, that's the official magazine of the Islamic State, in which it's calling on its followers to break the cross. Other than that, a collection of the usual, it's slick, looks really well laid out, but the text, of course, just more of the same. Arguments in favor of the Quran and against the Bible. It also praises and takes credit for the terror attacks in recent months in Orlando, Nice and Normandy in France, Würzburg and Ansbach in Germany, and in Bangladesh. And not to be outdone, the new issue of Al Risala is out. That is a magazine produced by Jabhat Fatah el-Sham, which is the Front for the Conquest of Syria, formerly known as Jabhat al-Nusra, the al-Nusra Front. It's separated from Al-Qaeda week before last. Apparently no hard feelings. The magazine includes a letter from Al-Qaeda's leader, Sheikh Ayman al-Zawahiri, in which he praises the unity of the rebels in Syria. This, like Dabik, a slick publication in English, obviously aimed at propaganda, aimed at Muslims in England and the United States to draw them into the fight in Syria. Now, propaganda of a different sort has been coming out of Hollywood for years, basically selling the American public and the world on the enemy's vision of faith and family. Basically, follow your heart and do whatever feels good, or as Aleister Crowley would have put it, do as thou wilt. But all is not lost. Screenwriter and novelist Brian Godawa recently attended a summit on family and faith in Hollywood. This was put on by Variety magazine. He said that the attendees were not the Christian subculture in Hollywood, but mainstream, big-name producers, writers, directors, filmmakers in Hollywood. And he says that, in his words, there is still some hope in Hollyweird.
There are a lot more Christians who are involved in key decision-making positions, which is where they've never have been, and more content makers. So Christians are being involved more in the process. And this is really important because you can make all the movies you want, but if you don't have a distribution pipeline that gets it to the masses, it doesn't do any good. And that's where the key decision makers and the executives in Hollywood make a difference. And this, Purpose Summit had a few of those there, describing what they're doing and how they're trying to grow and how they're trying to meet the demands of the market. There are others who were involved. There's a very diverse group of people. Not everyone agreed. There were plenty of people who argued that, yeah, they're trying to reach out and try to make movies for the Christian market, but they still don't get it because they don't understand the faith and how that works and what the demands are of the market or whatever. So there's this sort of, mixture of people. Hollywood's not monolithic. And as much as I complain and gripe about it, Hollyweird and Babylon and such, which is true. There's a lot of evil. There's a lot of basically broken, miserable, bad people who like to stomp on other people. As much as that's true, there are also many within the industry, more increasing, ongoing. This is where I'm encouraged, where they do want to bring good change and meet the needs of a market that's not as interested in the nihilism and the darkness that so much of Hollywood can often capitulate to.
Brian was the scriptwriter for the award-winning film Against All Wars, which starred Kiefer Sutherland and Robert Carlyle. He's also the author of a couple series of novels that we highly recommend, the Chronicles of the Nephilim and Chronicles of the Watchers. You can find out more at his website, Godawa.com. Speaking of films, we remind you that the Telly Award-winning documentary film Inhuman, The Next and Final Phase of Man is Here, is now available for streaming at Amazon.com. If you're a member of Amazon Prime, where you pay an annual subscription fee, gets you some other benefits too, like free shipping. We do it. It's worth it, especially when you live out in the country. You can download, or rather stream the film at no charge. Again, if you're an Amazon Prime member. If you're not, you can still pay to stream it. You can purchase it. The film comes in 2 parts because it's about a 3-hour film. Each part $9.99 to purchase, but you can rent the film for 7 days and rent each part for $2.99. Again, that is if you're not a member of Amazon Prime. If you are a member of Amazon Prime, that's part of the package, one of the benefits. You can watch the film for free. We highly encourage you to do so. We've also made available through Amazon Prime a number of the best SkyWatch TV episodes over the last year and a half. Guests like Timothy Alberino and Steve Quayle, Dr. Michael Lake and others, Josh Peck talking about the nature of creation. You'll find those at Amazon.com as well in the Amazon video section. If you're a member of Amazon Prime, it's free. Otherwise, you can rent the episodes for $2.99 for 7 days, and you get to see them in full HD. So again, something new from SkyWatch TV. And by the way, when you're getting to my age and being able to resize the text when you're reading a book is really helpful. We've made available a number of the most popular and most recent releases from Defender Publishing as ebooks available for the Kindle and the Barnes & Noble Nook. You'll find a complete list of which ones are available at skywatchtv.com. Look for the link in the top menu bar that says ebooks. This week on SkyWatch TV, we shed some light on one of the most mysterious sections of the Bible. That was the creation of the giants, Genesis chapter 6, verses 1 through 4. What do we know about the angels who kept not their first estate? The angels who are called watchers in the book of Enoch. Watchers are mentioned in the Bible, by the way, only in the book of Daniel. But otherwise, the Bible is silent on the watchers. What do we know about them? Well, it turns out the ancient Mesopotamians knew about them, and Dr. Michael Heiser explains. You can watch SkyWatch TV tonight, 4 different places. The Victory Television Network tonight at 6:30 p.m., also 6:30 p.m. Central Time on WGGN TV 52 in Sandusky, Ohio. WLLA TV 64 in Kalamazoo, Michigan at 7 p.m. and then coast to coast tonight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time on the Christian Television Network. That's DirecTV Channel 376, Dish Network Channel 267, or the Glory Star Satellite Channel 117. Tomorrow, coast to coast on the Cornerstone Network at 2:30 p.m. Central Time and World Harvest Television at 6 p.m. Central Time. That's DirecTV Channel 367. And on Saturday, you'll see it on the Victory Television Network, 3:30 p.m. Central, and WCLF-TV in Tampa, St. Petersburg at 6:30 p.m. We have a complete list of dates, times, channels for the Cornerstone Network, where you can find it locally, and for the Victory Television Network. You'll find that at skywatchtv.com. Look in the top menu bar where it says Channels. And every week we give you more web-exclusive content from SkyWatch TV. This week, including another episode of SkyWatch TV that will not be broadcast on network television. Dr. Michael Heiser talks about the origin of the demons, actually. Joshua's holy war against the giants was last week. The origins of demons, where do they come from? Dr. Heiser explains to me and Josh Peck, and you'll see that only at skywatchtv.com and the SkyWatch TV channel on Roku. If you need a version of SkyWatch TV that you can listen to while you're driving, running your lawnmower, or working power tools, heavy equipment, check out the SkyWatch TV podcast. The audio versions of every program we broadcast available for download to your MP3 player, smartphone, tablet, or your computer. You'll find the link and the instructions at skywatchtv.com. Top menu bar, look there for the link that says podcast. Every month, we like to thank you for your support. And during the month of August, we've got a couple editions for your library. A Place at the Table, 40 Days of Solidarity with the Poor, and Powerful Moments in the Presence of God. Those 2 books, we will send those to you for your gift to us of $20 or more. U.S. and Canada residents only, please. For more information and to donate, log on to SkyWatchTV.com. And of course, wherever you find us on the internet, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or at our website, click share, click like, click subscribe to share the news, and you'll find my stuff online here, my website, Facebook page, Twitter feed, and my YouTube channel, where we're currently featuring an interview with Tom Dunn, director and producer of a new film called Detestable about satanic ritual abuse. Check that out. And if you get comments, questions, or suggestions for me, send those to dgilbert@skywatchtv.com. And thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert, and this is Skywatch TV. Skywatch TV can help you break through the barriers of space and time and get a valuable reference library at the same time. Here's what I mean. Maybe you weren't able to attend the Rocky Mountain International Prophecy Conference in July. That's a problem of space. Or maybe you were at the conference, but you had to choose. You could only watch one presentation at a time. No way to see all 53 presentations in real time. That's a problem of space and time. But thanks to modern digital technology, those barriers mean nothing. We can take you from your living room in the future to Colorado Springs in the past to watch all 53 presentations, many of which were recorded at the same time. And that's not even including more than 24 one-on-one interviews with all the speakers who were present. When you pre-purchase the complete DVD set from the Rocky Mountain International Prophecy Conference from Skywatch TV, you'll get all 53 presentations recorded live, plus the 24 one-on-one interviews, and we will add the 5-volume Researcher's Library of Ancient Text. That alone is a $150 value. Your cost, $149.95 plus shipping and handling. This is a limited time offer. Your opportunity to travel from your living room in the future to Colorado Springs in the past and watch all 54 presentations from the Rocky Mountain International Prophecy Conference without ever leaving your comfy chair. Time and space, no problem for Skywatch TV. Order now by calling 844-750-4985 or log on to skywatchtvstore.com.